here at Crate. You're down on Queen's Yard. That's where Crate, our main bar, is. And right now we're standing outside our brew shed, which is where we do the majority of our brewing. We also run it as an event space and various other fun bits and pieces. I'll take you through into the brew shed now to start off by meeting Callum, who's our head brewer, who can talk a bit about the brew process, and we'll go from there. So this we use as our sort of main event space. This started really as brewing and storage space, but as we've grown, we've done more and more brew tours and more events. So we do pop-up restaurant stuff here. We've done lots of weddings in here, so it works really well as a sort of multi-functional space. And then if you turn around here, this is where our main brew space is. So the boys are hard at work. Brewing is an early morning activity, so they've got started early. Carl? Greg and Callum from our brew team. We've got started nice and early. So just want to talk a little bit about what you're up to today?
Yeah, we're making our pale today. So we're actually brewing twice, but we're doing pale this morning, and then I don't know what we're doing this afternoon. We'll make something fun. So we've just mashed them. So mashed them full of grain. So just kind of like steeping away. So it's going to sit there for about an hour. Then we're going to run it across into our kettle, add hops, down, yeast, and then yeah, pretty much add beer at that point.
How long does it take from start to finish?
7 hours, and then probably about 2 weeks until you can drink it. So, yeah.
And then it'll be up on the bar, which is at the top. So thanks, Carl. So we Yeah, for sure. Okay, we got started back in 2012. We got open just in time for the Olympics. So we're based just across from the Olympic Park. And we opened a small restaurant and microbrewery. And we were brewing in there for about 6 months before we were pretty much selling out what we could brew and realised we needed a bigger space. That's when we found this unit. And we've been brewing in here now for about a year and a half. And the bar carries on doing what it does, and this really is a space for us to brew more beer to take out into wholesale, so we do quite a lot to pubs, shops, restaurants and the like.
And where did the idea first come from for Crate?
Just beer really, love of beer. I was doing some home brewing. In a previous life I was working in broadcasting, in radio. And I'd done that for about 15 years. We're coming to the end of that and was looking for something in food and drink. I'd always done lots of stuff with food and drink, was growing up kind of making gorse wine with my dad and making food with mum at home. So I knew I wanted to do something in that space, but wasn't quite sure what. Loved the home brewing, it went really well, and sort of started thinking this could have a potential to actually sell to people rather than just get boozed on the weekend. So yeah, just started thinking, okay, well where would I want to do it? I found this amazing building with Tom and Jess, my business partners. They were living in the area anyway. They actually found the building, and yeah, we fell in love with it. And from then on, it's just grown from there on, really. We've just opened another space, which I'll take you next door to now before we head on up to the bar. That new space is called Mick's Garage, and that really is, it's kind of acting as an umbrella to lots of other interesting things that we do. So Tom and Jess already run a coffee roastery down at the Counter Cafe, so it acts as a hub for that. We've also just started a kombucha brewing company called Jar, so there's kombucha brewing going on in there and also a kombucha bar. And then we've teamed up with one of our previous customers, Berber & Q, or one of our existing customers, Berber & Q, who have set up a meat smoking restaurant in there. So it's kind of a nice sort of umbrella for lots of things that we're into. And then we're doing a few other bits and pieces on the weekend as well, which I can tell you about.
Amazing.
So if you ever wander out into the car park. This is a really interesting part of London, really. There's a very creative, very young. I think statistically there are more young creatives living in this borough than anywhere else per capita in Europe. So we've got an amazing source of fantastic creative people to sort of come and join us here in Crate. In fact, it's how we started the main bar, really. We just opened the doors and asked the local community to come in and help us to design it and put it together. This is Tom, one of my business partners. Hi. Early morning. Early morning over here. And also security control. Come in here and have a quick look. Tom can tell you about the new space that we're in.
Right, okay. So this was a former mechanic's garage. It was a bit of a grease pit when we took it over, and we basically built this big mezzanine in the middle here because we needed to accommodate a new cold room. And in doing so, we created a really nice upstairs space, which actually is quite warm and quite nice. And decided that once we'd also put in this racking down the side here, that we had enough space to also use it for events and accommodate everything we needed, as well as a pop-up restaurant and potentially a few other incubator businesses. So we've got a small roastery in here, we've got Jark and Butcher over there, we've got Shook Shook in the middle, and we've got our workshop out the back. So it's kind of our new hub for where we create, I suppose.
Because we've got so much space in here, it allows us to be really flexible to do lots of things. So I know this Saturday, for Small Business Saturday, we're acting as a bit of a hub for lots of other local businesses to come and operate here. So we're setting up a bit of a market. There'll be sort of vintage fashion and jewellery stores and just various, like I said, because there's so many creatives living in the area, this is quite a nice space for us to showcase what everyone else does in the area. So yeah, it's quite a nice space. And then we'll head on up to the bar, which is where it all started. Okay, yeah. So the main bar isn't open apparently. We're the earliest ones up today. But this is the White Building. So it's a building that is focused on art and technology. Upstairs on the first floor, you've got lots of small creatives that are doing running their offices out of there. There's an architect up there, there's a furniture maker, I think. The Yard Theatre have got a that's what the whole function of the building is really. And then Crate was established initially just as sort of an ancillary function to all of that, which has just done really well. And sort of we've expanded from here really. Apart from outside, this is the Alfred Leroy. So this is our 52-seater canal boat. This operates as a cocktail boat, and also as of January we'll be able to do cruises and sort of private hires and whatnot up and down the canal. They're opening up the waterways into the Olympic Park now, so there's some nice little routes that we can take with it. But outside of that really, it's just sort of extra seating for people to enjoy in the summer. These roof sections come off at the top here, so you can have all al fresco cruising and boozing, which would be nice. And then, yeah, this is the main bar, which unfortunately I can't show you in because it's locked, but it's really nice. Oh, it is open. Here we go. This is Captain Perkins. He is the captain of the Alfred Leroy. Well, he was.
Sorry, just get you in.
So we'll just get the lights on. So this is our main space really, and where everything started. There's a pizza restaurant here. It's an open pizza restaurant, so you can see all the action going on. We do a bunch of really sort of unusual pizza toppings. We do a wonderful Moroccan lamb topping, and today we've just put on a Kashmiri dal pizza with banana, which is amazing. I know it sounds really weird, but it's absolutely delicious. So that's good. Do you want to talk about space a bit, Tom?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this space was... I first came and looked at the space about 5 years ago when it was an abandoned building and it had graffiti everywhere and it had been used for raves and it sort of looked like it had been burnt down. But it got taken over by the LLDC, who built these walls, segmented off upstairs, and basically over the course of a couple of years we were talking with them about possibility of putting a cafe or restaurant in here. And obviously they've kind of created this space for us to do that in, and we've built in the back of here a small brewery, offices upstairs, a cold room upstairs, a cellar that's up in the air. It seems a bit odd. And we managed to pipe all of our beer under the floor and that up through the taps in the middle here. So it's quite different to what it was when we first came and looked at it, that's for sure.
But the whole space really was decked out by sort of staff and local friends that wanted to get involved. Got the light fittings made out of old twisted fence wire. I mean, it's basically a load of old rubbish we could lay our hands on and turn into something beautiful. So this is an old ladder that's been turned into a bench. Sort of packing straps here. All of the tables and whatnot are made out of pallets. The bar is old railway sleepers. So it's a really unusual space.
If you could both give your favourite thing about running Crate, what would it be?
I think it's the feedback of people when they walk in here and they, like friends, family, or customers, they come in, they're like, oh my god, if you come out to the riverbank in the summertime when there's 500 people out there, it's satisfying to see that people think it's exciting, because I think it's exciting.
Outside of sort of free beer and pizza, obviously, which is also awesome. I know. I mean, as we've grown, all of our sort of team have grown. We're a team of 60 now, and you know, it's really quite satisfying seeing people move up through the business. They started in the kitchen or on the bar, and they've ended up working in logistics or in sales or in office management. Or so actually, just seeing people grow with us has been really satisfying as well. So yeah, it's been a good time.